Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of our top 10. So, yeah, joining me for this episode, we have Kenny from Kenny's Movie Palace.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me, Andy. I appreciate it.
No problem, Kenny. Thanks very much. And yeah, for our top 10, Kenny's chosen the one and only John Candy.
It only could be him for me.
I'm sure we're gonna have you back on, Kenny, and we'll be talking about a certain actress. We'll be doing a top 10.
Oh, yes. That would be lovely.
Yeah. But yeah, no, today we're going to be doing John Candy movies. I mean, this guy for me is someone who we lost over 30 years ago. And so many film fans, so many people who work with him have nothing but nice things to say about him. And just how he's gone too soon, but he left his mark.
I highly recommend that Amazon Prime, John Candy, I Like Me documentary. Yeah. It's just beautiful. It's just, and like you just said, I haven't heard one. It's like Martin Short. Nobody can say a bad thing about this man.
No.
It's unbelievable. So it's just like, and every time you go into one of his movies, you know you're going to smile and you know you're going to laugh.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even mean that he's going to, like, just the way he looks just at a person at a certain time, or just one of his mannerisms, and you just fall, you know? It's like, I rewatched Uncle Buck again for the 8 billionth time, spoiler. And when he's sitting there with Shanice at the bar, you know, and he's just like looking at her and just like, you know, making these like faces, you know, if there's any way I could get out of this, you know, and it's just like, you knew he was just up to something, you know what I mean? So just he just makes me smile. There's like two people in the world that make me smile like that. It's John Candy and Martin Short, because I know when I come in for a movie with Martin Short, I know I'm going to have a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's was around in my childhood as well. Like he just had that draw to him. Whenever he was working with John Hughes, you know, the two of them magic together. I think.
Yeah.
Both gone, unfortunately. But yeah, he was just a massive part of my childhood. Whenever he popped up in a family movie, and yeah, I delved into more of his films later on. Towards the end of his life, he didn't do the best, let's say, in terms of quality. The movies towards the end of his career weren't the best, but there was still some enjoyment to have. I mean, I was going through the list of ones I've seen, and I'll talk about it in my honorable mentions, but there's a lot of movies I absolutely love that he's in, but he's not the main star. He's only in it for maybe a few minutes. But he's left his mark. He's one of the most memorable actors in those movies, despite not being the main star. But yeah, if you want to get into some honorable mentions for you that didn't make
absolutely, yeah. One of my honorable mentions, and like you just said, he wasn't in it for that long, but you can see the depth of his just acting ability, was 93 with JFK.
Yeah,
man. I mean, it was. I remember seeing that in the movies, and I didn't even know that he was going to be in the movie. And my brother nudged me. He goes, did you know John was going to be in it? I'm like, no. But I couldn't take my eyes off of him. You know, it was like a two-way conversation, but it was just like he was just so, like, and it wasn't like it was John Candy going for a laugh. He was just like, and I said to my brother after that, it was like, I said, you know, he's going to win an acting or be nominated for an Academy Award one day. Just by that scene, he just like totally, you know, and the sweat coming down his face, you know, when he was talking to Kevin Costner, it just blew me away. So JFK is one of my honorable mentions. Blues Brothers was the first time I seen him on screen, because I was like, who is this guy? You know, and then we started getting SCTV on our PBS station. And what actually got me watching SCTV because I was a big Letterman fan at the time, was them throwing the TVs out of the window. And I was like, what in the hell is this? I remember saying to my brother, we got to watch this. And when they had like characters like Ed Grimley and like, it was just Johnny LaRue was the best. I wish they would have done a Johnny LaRue movie based on his character on SCTV, And if you go onto YouTube now, they have like like 2 hours of the best of LaRue, and I just sit there and I'm just like, man, this guy was so funny, just
Yeah.
just a little mannerisms. So Blues Brothers. Spaceballs did not make my list.
Okay.
I liked the movie, but it wasn't a John Candy movie. But what the parts he was in was very funny,
Yeah.
Vacation was another one. Small role, he stole the second part of the movie,
Yeah.
And the last one for my was Who's Harry Crumb in 1989.
Yeah.
I liked that movie, but I didn't go. I've seen it like probably about 100,000 times, but it's not like one of my like go-to John Candy movies.
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah, get it. Yeah, I've got some honorable mentions where his presence is larger than others, and there's a few I want to get into where his roles are a bit smaller. So my honorable mentions for me, where his roles are a bit more prominent, Stripes didn't make my list.
Okay.
Splash didn't make my list either. Not a great movie, but I like the cast. Nothing But Trouble.
Right.
Didn't make my list.
That was a very odd movie to watch.
Yeah, it's a strange film. Definitely a strange film. Delirious. He's front and center in that movie, but again, it didn't make my list.
That movie never clicked with me, and and I was in love with Emma Samms at the time because she was on a soap opera in America called Dynasty, a nighttime soap, and I just loved Emma Samms, but they just didn't have any chemistry together.
Yeah.
You could just tell.
Yeah, it's again, it's not a bad film, but it's not a good one either.
No,
it's in that gray area. For me, but then there was 5 movies where I thought he's not the main star of the movie, but he's left his mark. But one of them did make my list, and I'll talk about that one when I get to it. But the 5 for me, the other 4 for me, sorry, where his role's very small, but he left his mark, like you said, National Lampoon's Vacation.
Yeah,
definitely as the security guard of the theme park, steals the show at the end. Love that movie. The other one again was the Blues Brothers. Almost made my list because I love that movie, but he's not in it enough. And JFK as well. Absolutely agree with you. He's brilliant in that film. It's probably his least likable character he's ever played in a movie, but he's so good, so good. And the other one was Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
DJ. That didn't make my list, but they're all my honorable mentions. The other 10.
Yeah, going back to JFK again, the 2 people that like came out of JFK, like I was just like blown away by, was John Candy and Laurie Metcalf, because I thought Laurie Metcalf was fantastic in that movie.
Little bit of an Uncle Buck reunion there as well.
Yeah, actually, I didn't even think of that, but she was so great in that movie.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, as those are our honorable mentions, do you want to crack on with your number 10?
Yeah, my number. I have I have tied for number 10, so I'm cheating a little bit here.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
10B is Cool Runnings.
Yeah,
that movie, you can tell it's. I think between Uncle Buck and Cool Runnings is John Candy, the person. Because you see like serious parts, like when when the people are just like teasing him about like the cheating aspect in Cool Runnings, and you can just tell like how hurt he is by that. And I just think like when he's training the guys, I think that's everyday John. But I think when he was there's a scene where it was the night before the finals, and he doesn't know whether he's going to be suspended, the team's going to be there or not, and basically he's just standing there alone, and you can just see like like you know like the dejection in his face, just looking, because everything is like there's nothing going on. There's spotlights, it's dark, and he's just standing there, just like a shadow. And that kind of just that always makes me tear up, that scene when he's standing there
Yeah.
because I think that a lot of that was him in real life, that he didn't want you to see, because there's always the stamina with the fat guy. Fat guy always has to be a clown, but he does hurt inside, so, and I really find that if you isolate that scene, it's like heartbreaking to me.
Yeah, it's like a redemption story for him as well, I think.
Yeah.
When you watch that, it is on my list. It's a little higher, but I'll talk a bit more about it then. But yeah, it's a classic sort of fish out of water story, but he has to coach the fish out of water.
Yeah,
it's like a second chance for him.
Yeah,
movie. It's a good film. Really enjoy it. Great top 10. Great number 10, Kenny.
Yeah, and my other top 10 is Stripes. I think that was I think that was a breakout for him, playing Dewey Oxberger. When he's sitting there telling Harold Ramis, I figured I'd join the army. Lose a couple pounds, and just see like Harold Ramis's face, how excited he was. And I just remember, and he's going, and there's like so many parts in that when he's playing cards with the guy, he's playing poker. Oh, look at that. That's a great hand, but you got too many A's in there. And he goes, you think I should get rid of them? Yeah, I would like that. And he's going, oh, see, you would have won if you had a 9, but no, you didn't have a 9. Oh, that's a shame. But just everything with him in that movie just makes me laugh, It's just that just turned me on. I'm like, oh, I can hang out with this guy, and I love that movie.
Yeah, it was an honorable mention for me, but it is a really good film.
Yeah,
it's more of a Bill Murray vehicle.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
But yeah, it's a little tough to watch now, I think, after you watch the documentary and you definitely see that mud wrestling scene.
Yeah.
Because he really did not want to do it at all, which is understandable.
Yeah.
But no, it's still a great comedy from the early 80s. Yeah, enjoy that one. So your joint number 10, Cool Runnings and Stripes. Cool. Yeah, number 10 for me. I watched this earlier this morning. I'm going with Armed and Dangerous.
Oh, that's up there on mine.
Yeah. Really, really daft movie, but I think in the hands of two less comedic actors, Eugene Levy and John Candy, I don't think this movie would have been as enjoyable as it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of John Candy's a cop who gets framed for stealing a TV that he didn't do and loses his job, and he has to join this training course to become a security guard with Eugene Levy. And there's a lot of random stuff that happens in this. There's a part in the movie where they end up in like this BDSM shop.
Yeah.
And they just dress up in these two ludicrous outfits. It's just such a bizarre movie, but the comedy's on point. I think it works for the time it came out, sort of a mid to late 80s comedy. It works. It's daft. The two leads have great chemistry in the movie. Meg Ryan as well has got a great supporting role, like the trainer, which is training them how to shoot the guns and stuff. But yeah, it's just a delightful little film. It's not perfect. It's got its problems, but it's a fun movie. I wasn't bored. I wasn't disappointed when I was watching it. It's just a fine movie. But for me, I enjoy it for what it is. So it's my number 10, Armed and Dangerous.
I fully agree with you. And you'll be hearing that one in my
little bit
top 10. Yeah, in a little bit. because
that's
that's
cool.
a very fun. That's a fun, very funny one. And me and my brother still quote that today. You know,
Yeah.
there's a lot of his movies that me and my brother. It's like we'll only get it, and his wife will like look at us like, are you guys retarded or something like that? So we just amuse ourselves. My mom used to say. You
Yeah,
two
it's not one of his most well-known movies.
Oh no! And it was a box office bomb when it
Yeah,
came out. It didn't do. I think me, my mom, and my brother were like. I think there was about 20 people when we went to see it in the theater opening weekend.
yeah,
That was one thing my mom always did opening weekend for us in the 80s when a John Candy movie came out. We went to see it that weekend.
yeah, yeah. Well, like you said, he had that box office draw. It
Yeah,
was like if John Candy was doing something or doing a movie, a lot of people would see it just because of him.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. You're absolutely right.
yeah. So that was my number 10, Armed and Dangerous. Your number 9, Kenny.
My number 9 is Brewster's Millions, 1985 movie with Richard Pryor,
Yep.
where he plays the best friend of Richard Pryor. They are like really like borderline minor league baseball players, and Richard Pryor gets he has an uncle, that a rich white uncle who gives him 30 days to spend $30 million, and John Candy's his best friend, so he's always out like looking out for him. But there's so many cool, like there's a Rick Moranis scene in there.
Yeah.
That it's a highlight. The John Candy, when he comes in after spending all the money on his suit and stuff, and he's got a gold plated catcher's mask because he was the catcher. So
Yeah.
I just like that movie a lot more than I would say like Harry Crumb, because I think there was a charm to that movie, and for not knowing each other, because those guys went in cold. They didn't know each other before that, and I thought
Oh.
they really had really good chemistry, Pryor and John Candy.
Yeah. Well, Kenny, it's my number 9 as well.
Oh, there you go.
Brewster's Millions, number 9. So we matched on one pretty early.
Yeah.
Yeah, agree with what you said. It's the scenario that makes the comedy in the movie. Richard Pryor has been left with this dilemma in his will to say, you have to spend 30 million to inherit 300 million, but you can't tell anyone about it. And there's certain rules. You can only donate a certain amount, but you have to keep receipts of everything. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's pretty much the movie. You can't tell anyone, has to keep it secret. So people around him are wondering, like, he's losing this money, but he's happy about it.
Yeah.
People you can't say, well, no, there's a bigger picture. But yeah, there's some good stuff in it. Like you said, Rick Moranis as well. Early role from him. He steals it. He's great in the little role he's in. But yeah, John Candy's very much the best friend who's just along for the ride. He's like probably the luckiest best friend in the world.
Yeah,
because he's just along for the ride. Richard Pryor, like he says, like, I'm going to make him my vice president. He's on a salary of $100K a month, and John Candy's just absolutely loving it.
I love how him and the photographer go at it with each other all the time, like that.
Yeah,
you want a raise? You got a raise. You're my bodyguard. And he goes, "Hey, you can't be throwing around money like that."
Yeah. But yeah, it's again. I totally didn't realize this until today, but it's a Walter Hill film.
Yeah,
well. Like that just blew my mind a little bit.
He didn't know how they can work with comic actors. They said, and he said John and him got along okay. Richard Pryor was always late to the like the scenes and stuff like that. So Walter Hill said John would always like mess around with the crew and stuff like that. So when he was there, he said they had like parties like for the crew and stuff, and John was like one of the people, Yeah. So it was just like Walter Hill said working with John Candy was a fun experience. He said working with Richard Pryor was not too wonderful,
not as
But when
much.
they got on camera, man, it seemed to gel like really well.
Yeah, it does. And like you said, they didn't know each other before filming it, and they just feel like it just worked. You know,
Yeah,
but both of them. Yeah, you've got like the New York setting as well, and the whole the baseball setting as well. That those two just scenes go really like well together, hand in hand, in the movie. But yeah, it's just a fun movie. It's not the greatest comedy of all time.
oh no,
John Candy's great in the supporting role, but yeah, it's just a good enough movie
yeah,
to get on with. I think.
absolutely. It's like if you can put it on for like, and it doesn't waste your time. It's an
No.
hour and 28 minutes. You know,
Mm.
what you're going to get. You know, you're going to get some good laughs out of it, and you just know John Candy's going to be on there, and you know you're just going to have a good time with it. So it doesn't take itself seriously. It knows what it is, and it's just there to make you laugh.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that was both of our number nines, Brewster's Millions.
Yeah, number 9. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, great. So on to your number 8.
Number 8 is Armed and Dangerous.
Okay.
1986 movie. I see. I was in love with Meg Ryan at this time because I watched the soap opera she was in, As the World Turns.
Mm.
So she was in that. So it was like when she was in this movie, I was like, oh, John Candy and her, and just the combination, like you said, of him and Eugene Levy, because they have worked so long together between SCTV, Groundlings, Second City. I like the fact that when you're going into a movie, people like each other, and are looking out for them. But when Eugene Levy had those ashless chaps on, and and John's looks like divine, walking down the street, I was hooting. But yeah, and that's another thing with John. If you notice in his movies, he recycles people from
Yes.
Armed and Dangerous. They were in. It's sort of like the John Hughes company of people. So it's just like all of his friends are basically in the movie, to get a payday.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, Armed and Dangerous. Because me and my brother still, hop on in, Slam. Damn, that's a big gun.
Yeah.
with the, and then he goes, I'm not built for this. I'm not built for this. When he's running, he goes, I'm a police officer. Give me your with the gloves.
Yeah. He's trying to get the car, and no one will give him a car. And then he ends up in that truck, and he says he has this gun. He says it's banned in 48 states.
And this ain't one of them.
It's used for hunting buffalo at close range.
And that sauna scene, I have a picture. Like a lot of my pictures are like kind of like faded now and stuff. But the scene that they get stuck in the sauna with the two girls.
Oh yeah.
That was my prom tux.
Oh wow.
It was I graduated in 87, and it was the Miami Vice collection, where I had a powder blue tux with a pink cummerbund and pink tie. And that was so when I seen it, I went to my mom. I said, that's my tuxedo. And she goes, yeah, but you didn't have the fluff. I just had like a white, basic white shirt, not the ruffles like he had. But every time I see it, because my brother said, that's your tux from your prom. So a lot of his movies now, especially, just take me back, to when I was in school and stuff, and who I seen them. That's another thing with his movies. You go to that day when you seen the movies and who you were with in the theater.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's another great thing with film. The people might not be here, but they're still with you.
Exactly. So, each film is sort of, it opens up a chapter of your life where you go,
yeah,
this is who I was with. This is what I was doing around that time. This is what was happening. And it just, opens up that memory.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
every time you saw
it's
it.
movies are
Don't do
such a
that.
great thing about like that, you
Yeah.
know. Because I couldn't tell you what I had for dinner last night, but I could tell you who I was with when I went to see a certain movie at this time, you know, or when I seen it, you know.
Yeah.
So it's just a remarkable one. So
Completely get that, Kenny. Yeah, absolutely. Our number 10 and our number 8 are flipped.
oh, okay.
But my number 8 is Cool Runnings.
Yeah.
So yeah. This is one that I did not grow up with at all.
Oh, really?
Very, very late to the game watching this film. I think don't get me wrong, I knew of the film and I'd seen parts of it, but I'd never watched it start to finish growing up.
Okay.
Yeah, it just wasn't one of those childhood films, but I felt very much that it should have been. You know, it's a Disney film. It's John Candy. Two things I absolutely loved as a kid.
Yeah.
But no, this one it missed me. I just missed the movie. I missed the ship with this one. But now I've seen it a fair few times. Really, really enjoy the film for what it is. Really, really enjoy it. I just don't have the nostalgia for it.
Yeah.
It is a really fun film. Jamaican bobsled team, just absolutely absurd. You know, competing in the Winter Olympics. Jamaica's is not a country famous for that type of climate.
Right.
Sports. So very much again the fish out of water story. Jamaicans sort of wanting to be this bobsled team and give it a go. Nobody in this movie gives them a chance. Completely writes them off and says it's ridiculous the fact that they're here. And John Candy is very much sort of the savior of the film to say, you know, okay, I may not have been the best trainer, but I'll do what I can here with this Jamaican bobsled team, and we'll go as far as we can go. And like I said, he's the savior of the movie. He keeps them on track. He's the stability of the film. He's just the movie's talisman. He's a strong pillar holding it together. But it just works for me, and I absolutely love John Candy in it. It's one of his last movies before he sadly passed away. But to do a Disney family film of this caliber, I think he did a great job. Great job.
There's two things about that you just said. I think it's his last good movie that he did unfortunately, before he passed away. And these guys, I mean, people make fun of these actors that like Eddie Murphy for years was getting like smashed like by the critics and all this for doing like Daddy Daycare, Dr. Dolittle and stuff like that. These guys have families. These guys have kids, you know, that they want to see their dad in. John Candy had 2 little kids at that time. That's why he made Cool Runnings, because he wanted I remember watching an interview with him and he said, I wanted my kids to see me in a Disney movie. You know?
Yeah, it's like similar to Raul Julia with Street Fighter.
Yeah.
He was sadly he was dying at the time, but his kids wanted to see him in the Street Fighter film, and that's why he did it. You know, it's very much the sort of the same thing. But yeah, no, completely get it with the whole family aspect of him wanting his kids wanting to see him in that type of film and making movies for that demographic.
Yeah, because the same thing with one of John Candy's friends, Daniel Stern. He went from these like serious movies. Then he went to do Home Alone. He did one of my favorites, Rookie of the Year, that John Candy's also in because they were friends. So it was just like these, people forget these actors have families. You know, they can't be doing like these. I mean, that's why Damon made My Family is in a Zoo or something like that. You know. A family movie, because his kids aren't going to be watching Green Zone. No. So it's just like it's a sad thing, but I feel that people actually forget that these guys have families. That's why it's like and another thing if you ever seen Eddie the Eagle with Taron Egerton
Hugh Jackman.
and Hugh Jackman, it's
Yeah,
kind of like pairs with Cool Runnings a little bit
yeah.
there.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah. That's interesting because I never made that comparison, but yeah, the two do work because he was a skier. Everyone wrote him off, said this is ridiculous.
making fun of him.
You're not gonna get anywhere doing this, but he gave it a shot and he got pretty far.
Yeah.
So
Even though he made it there. I mean, he was an Olympian. Something that we can't say that we ever made the Olympics.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my number 8, Cool Runnings.
All right.
Yeah, so we've talked about the same 3 so far. So
yeah,
just in a bit of a different order. But yeah, your number 7, Kenny.
My number 7 is a 1989 movie, The Great Outdoors.
Okay.
It's just like another thing. Aykroyd and Candy have known each other for years, all the way back to the Blues Brothers, way before Second City and stuff, Growlings and stuff like that. And they just wanted to do a family movie. There you go again with a family movie because Danny had kids, John had kids, and it's just some of the funniest thing. I mean, you still see I put still memes up the 69er with the steak, big bear chase me,
Yeah.
So it's still funny and the other one I used to do a lot. With my ex-girlfriend, I'll be Bert, with the videotape, So, and that was Annette Bening's first movie too.
I didn't know it was her first film.
Film. And then after that, she got an Oscar nomination for The Grifters.
The Grifters, yeah. We'll go on to marry Warren Beatty as well, and
yeah. So, yes, I love that movie. It's just way down. It's way down on my list. It's like I still love it. I watch it like during the summer. It's just It's just a good time. I hate the second act with the love interest with the kid and and her. I didn't need that, in the movie. I could have just seen a little more with Dan and John,
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that's the only reason why I dropped it down as low as I did on it, because of the second act with the love interest. I guess they needed that to attract teens in. So
no, that's fair enough. Yeah, get it. It's a little higher on mine.
Oh, okay, fair.
I'll get to it when I get to it. Now this next one for me, my number 7. This is the movie I was talking about where his time in the movie is very short.
Okay.
But this was my introduction to John Candy. This was the first movie I'm
interested now.
And I absolutely love this movie. If it was just a ranking of these movies and not so much talking about John Candy, this would probably be either 2 or 1.
Ooh, wow. Okay.
Because this is a strong movie for me, and I absolutely love it. But my number 7, and yeah, it's not the movie he's most known for, but it's a short role. But yeah, my number 7 is Home Alone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I had to put this on the list somewhere because I watched this movie so many times growing up. It didn't even have to be Christmas. Right. I would just watch it over and over and over again. And again, like I said, it was my introduction to John Candy. Very, very small role towards the third act of the film.
Yeah.
He's the savior of the whole movie, in my opinion, because he's there to just save Catherine O'Hara, Kate McAllister. He's there to get her home.
Yep.
And he doesn't want anything. He doesn't ask for anything in return. It's just the kindness of strangers. Nothing's working out for her. There's no transport home, and he's there and he shows up and he says, "Hey, we're heading our way, through where you need to go. We're more than happy to drop you off on the way." And it's like, she's like, "Will you do that?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure. Just maybe have to put up with some music, but yeah, we're there to take you home." And it's just, it feels like you're not watching his character. It just feels like you're just watching John Candy. Like you just happened to be at the airport and was like, yeah, if you need a ride home, we're more than happy to do that for you. But the movie itself, it does have, it's more known for, you know, the Joe Pesci, Daniel Stern, Kevin defending his house against these two burglars, and all that stuff's amazing. The Christmas vibe is amazing. It has one of the most beautiful endings for any movie ever, in my opinion, with the old man Marley reunion with his son. Yep. Oh my God, that hits me more as an adult now than I think it ever did when I was a kid. But John Candy's this movie's secret weapon, and he, you know, anyone could have played it, but John Candy just does what John Candy does in this movie, and he's just delightful. You know, another John Hughes produced movie. He got John Candy in there, and he said, "Yeah, I'll play that small role." And yeah, he's one of the most memorable characters of the film.
That was the best $654 John Hughes ever spent on a movie.
Yeah.
Crazy. He only took scale for it, and every line was improvised that he did with Catherine O'Hara in the van.
In the van, it's hilarious when he's talking about his kid he left at the funeral home. And he said, "Oh yeah, he started talking again, you know, after 3 or 4 months."
He was poka. Yeah, we're big in Shawinigan.
Yeah, he was left alone with the corpse all day.
And she knows him so well. She just goes along with everything. And you know what? And it was perfect because you didn't think anything of it, because had you lost your kid and you hadn't seen your kid in 24 hours, you would be just like doing like the same thing that she did, you know, just going, you know, yep, like that, just to try to get home, you know. But that's a great pick. And man, it's like when you have the foresight, like later on in life when you're watching this, because like when you're watching it, it's like, you know, and the same thing with like critics, you know, critics just dismiss it as a stupid. I mean, I remember I went over Siskel and Ebert's review of that, and they just said a silly little comedy that works on levels, and then they said, and then Ebert said, well, they had to throw in a little side like 5-minute scene with John Candy just because he's friends with John Hughes. It's like, dude, you don't understand, you know, you might be smart and all that, but man, he's patching everything together. That's the bridge that gets, you know, her home to him, you know. And it's just like those when you watch reviews, especially like later in life, like there's I'll give you the link for that just this guy has taped every Siskel and Ebert and has put it on. They were big here in America, and he has every review. Like he didn't like Die Hard. They didn't like Die Hard.
Didn't like Die Hard, but loved The Phantom Menace.
Yeah. But yeah, you're so right, and it's just like that is beautiful. Yeah, I really didn't even I didn't even think it. I thought of it because of the smaller role that he had in that. But that you're right about that.
If it is or isn't on anyone's list, I can completely understand either way, because Home Alone to me is such a great Christmas film. It's a great film. It just is, and John Candy being in it makes it even better. But it's not his movie. He's not it's Macaulay Culkin's movie.
Yeah.
But he's just a great small role in the film. John Candy, he just is. He just makes it better. You know.
I mean, can you imagine? He was 10 years old and he held that film together. I mean, he carried that movie. I mean, there's like grown ass people today, Rebel Wilson, you know, that are movie stars that can't carry a movie. You know,
exactly.
That kid was 10 years old. You know,
I was gonna say, like, Macaulay Culkin came out and said, you know, John Candy looked after him.
Yeah.
When he was making these movies, because he didn't just do Home Alone. We're probably going to be talking about some other movies later on that we're both in together as well. But yeah, it's, you know, he just had his best interests at his heart, looking after him, and so, you know, keeping his feet on the ground, and so it's just looking after him, taking him under his wing. Just what, and we can't say he was a nice fella because we knew him, but we can say just what a nice fella because of his actions.
Yeah,
what he did for other people, you know.
Yeah, because I remember reading, because they had talked to Macaulay Culkin about John Candy, and he said he had just had that bad review with The Good Son.
Yeah,
when that came out.
Yeah,
and he just said he called him up out of the blue. He hadn't seen him, hadn't heard from him, and he was working on Wagons East at that time, and he was like, "How are you doing? You know, not like the family, or how are you doing?" And he said he basically talked to him for an hour on the phone just to see, what his state of mind was, and just to check up on him, which is lovely, because a lot of people, they just do it for a job, take the paycheck, and they're on to the next one. It just seemed like he just actually cared about what he, the people that he was working with and the crew. I have a funny story when I get to my next couple ones about that. So,
but yeah, it's my number 7, Home Alone.
That's a great one. I mean, and like you said, it's the bridge to get home.
Yeah, he's there to save the day in that movie for me. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, you're number 6, Kenny.
Now, number 6, a lot of people hate this movie.
Okay.
There's a lot of hate for this movie, and this was he did 4 movies in 85. If you look at 85,
okay,
he did 4 movies, and this was one of them. And this was a huge, colossal bomb, and this was Volunteers. Okay. But I counted the time he was in it. He's in this movie for 18 minutes. Every scene in this movie he steals. Tom Tuttle from Tacoma, Washington, when he's in that, and me and my brother still we still follow the college team, Washington State, because we sing that, we know the theme song just from Tom, John singing it, and then just go because like Tom Hanks is Tom Hanks is this rich snob who just graduated college. I'll give you a synopsis of the movie.
Yeah, okay.
And he runs away to the Peace Corps on a gambling debt. Okay, and this is where he meets his real life wife, Rita Wilson. They were going together and married during this time, and one of the guys from the Peace Corps that he meets up with is John Candy, Tom Tuttle from Tacoma. And there's so many lines like Tom Hanks's name in is Lawrence Bourne III, and John Candy goes up to him and goes, "Hey, Larry!" just like stupid stuff like that, just like make me laugh. And like he even included in my number one. If you guys know me, my number one, when he's going down the kids' names and he's like Larry. So it was just like, oh my God. But it's basically a comedy takeoff of Bridge Over the River Kwai. Okay. But man, John Candy just like like I said, he's only in it for 18 minutes, but those 18 minutes are, "You're a big kitty cat, aren't you? Yes, you are." Like that. And he goes, trapped in a tiger hole. This could be a problem.
You know what? It's one I've never seen.
Oh my God. Oh, it's not the great. I mean, when we went to see it in the theater, there was 5 people in the theater, and my buddy who worked in the theater at the time, he came over to me and my mom and my brother, who we were sitting there. He goes, "How's the movie?" My mom goes, "I think it's very funny." And me and my brother had tears rolling down our eyes. My buddy seen it the next day because he worked that was a Saturday. He worked on Sunday, and then he came in on Monday and he goes, "That movie fucking sucked." And I'm like, I'm sorry. He goes, no, he goes, John Candy was very funny. He goes, but that movie really sucked. I'm like, I'm sorry. I thought it was very funny. So that's why when I put that high in my list, people look at me, but man, John Candy, man, 18 minutes of just pure gold. Somebody's got a YouTube of just the 18 minutes that he's on there. And people just howl about, like, you know, how didn't this movie make any money? It's like, no, you had to watch the rest of the movie with Tom Hanks, you know, basically, you know. And when he's going, there's another funny scene with what's a happening hot stuff. He's the Getty Wadabe. He's the guy that like talks like from like their language. And he goes, we'll chop down these, and these trees are like all sacred and shit, like, you know. And he goes, what's the matter? There's a lot of trees around here. We can't take them. But yeah, you got, do yourself a favor and put that on your list if you can find it at a charity shop or something. Just because I laugh. It's like the first scene even made me laugh, where it comes up Harvard, a college. It's just stupid fun.
No, I'll definitely keep a hunt out for Volunteers, because I think it has been on my radar, but like I said, I've just never got around to watching it yet. But yeah, I'll hunt it out. I'll definitely hunt it out now.
Yeah. I'm jealous over there with you guys, because you can get like Ollie gets really good stuff for like 25 cents and 50 cents and stuff. And if you go here, it's like $2.50 for a movie. So you can't be wrong.
No, I'll definitely keep an eye out for it. But yeah, it's one I've been meaning to watch, but just haven't got around to it. So that's your number 6, Volunteers.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Right, yeah. My number 6, Summer Rental. Yeah.
You'll be hearing that soon. Great movie.
Yeah. 86, I want to say.
Yep. 86.
Yep.
85, 86.
Yeah, 85, 86, round about then. This is very much, he's the family man of the movie, and he works in airport traffic control. Something goes wrong with a fly, and
stupid fly.
Yeah. And he has to, well, sort of, he just takes his family on vacation. They're going to rent out this house, and what's supposed to be time for him to relax is just stress all the time. And that's pretty much the movie. You've got Kerry Green as his daughter. She was fresh off of Goonies.
Yum.
In this one, at the time.
Yeah. Listen, I was 16 at the time when this movie came out, so that's why I said yum. I don't want them knocking at my door like Predator or something like that. No. At the time, like Kerry Green was like, she was hot at the time. Like, I mean, like hot property. Like she was like really big at the time. Lucas too.
Lucas, God, I love that movie.
Yeah, it's such a great movie.
Yeah. She was just the mid 80s was like Goonies, Summer Rental, Lucas, Three for the Road.
I was just going to say Three for the Road with Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, just absolutely. Yeah, she was hot shit at the time. But yeah, it's just him. He plays her dad, and there's just really, really good funny moments in this movie. It's not strong in plot, I don't think, but it's more just what happens in the film. Like him, obviously this scene here where he's just walking through the beach. The beach is full of people, and he's just,
sand is hot.
So yeah, everything, he's spilling water everywhere. He's like, everything is just going wrong for him. I love that scene where he comes back to the house. He's in the crutches and there's someone watching the Smurfs. And he's like, get up. He's like, get out of here. And he's like, no, I'm watching the Smurfs. So did you ever see that episode with Papa Smurf? It's someone with a crutch. It just showcases the likability of John Candy, this film. Mm-hmm. It may not be the greatest movie.
No.
But it just shows how delightful he was in these types of movies. And yeah, I just really like it. Really have a fun time with it. It has that real summer setting to it that you can just enjoy. The beaches look great. The movie just looks great when you watch it. And yeah, I have a fun time with this one. So it's nowhere near as good as Home Alone, in my opinion. But because we're ranking them in terms of John Candy,
right?
He's more prevalent in this movie than he is in Home Alone. So that's why it's a step up for me. But yeah, number 6 for me, Summer Rental. Really enjoy it.
Yep.
So that leads us with your number 5.
Well, it's funny because you just mentioned it. Summer Rental is my number 5 movie. He got that. He got that movie based on Splash.
Right.
After Splash, and Carl Reiner wanted to work with him. So it's funny when you're talking about this. He was doing this in Volunteers at the same time.
Okay.
That's why he's only in Volunteers for 18 minutes because he was doing Summer Rental.
Yeah.
So he would fly. They went to Thailand because they filmed in Thailand for the Volunteers. So he came back, and the night where he falls asleep on the lounge chair where he gets the burn.
Yeah.
That actually happened. He fell asleep because he was filming back and forth.
Yeah.
So Carl Reiner just put that in the script. You know that
it worked.
It worked perfectly.
Yeah.
You know, and then the other scene that always makes me laugh, and my brother when they're waiting in line for the lobster.
Yeah.
And they just go, we want 5 Chester, 5 lobsters, and they get up there, and we meet his enemy, Richard Crenna.
Yes.
Are these your pants? Like that, Still, me and my brother still do it. We did it at my niece's wedding last year because it's her anniversary today. And we were doing. I turned to Courtney, my brother's wife, and I said, "Are these your pants?" And I went like that. And Chris and I were like falling over, like laughing. And I think 2 people at the whole table got it. And Courtney goes, "It's just something between these 2 retards," basically. And Scully's catches of the day, And then another thing with this movie is, how many times do people get drunk at a bar when he's talking at the bar about your Sylvester Stallone couldn't touch James Cagney, when they're throwing darts and stuff like that. How many times did people have gotten arguments about I remember being in elementary school, and it was like, my friend would go, "Journey's better than Styx. How can you prove that? Let's go through the songs," And just him. And then another thing with that movie, it was I know you guys didn't get that much over there, but it was an early Night Court reunion too, because John Larroquette, who was also in Stripes, with him, and had known John he basically brought John Larroquette and his family down, and they shot that scene. And his wife in that movie was the star of Night Court with John Larroquette at the time, Karen Austin. So so basically that was just basically to get Larroquette, because Larroquette, before he got Night Court, was still a struggling actor. So that was basically just to get his friend another paycheck.
Yeah, it was only when I was watching Summer Rental earlier that I realized, totally forgot John Larroquette was in the movie.
Yeah,
totally forgot. It's that scene with John Candy's wife, and she's short of money, and he says, "Oh yeah, I'll get it for you." It's like, "No, I can't let you do that." And Kerry Green's like, "Mom, just let him pay."
Yeah,
yeah, but yeah, no, No, that's cool. So yeah, that's your number 5.
That's number 5. Yes.
Cinema rental. Awesome. Yeah, my number 5. I really like this film. I don't watch this film a hell of a lot, but I do really like it. Really, really like it whenever I do watch it. I think this is one movie. I want to say Macaulay Culkin's in this as well. He has a really, really small role. I'm going with Only the Lonely.
Okay, you'll see that coming up, and that it also Oscar winner Kieran Culkin is in that too.
Oh, okay.
It's the Culkin brothers, because John took them. That was another thing. John, they were just basically just doing nothing, and he brought the boys into play in that football scene in the backyard, where that's just that movie. I'll get to that soon, but go ahead, tell us about this.
Yeah, so I'd say Only the Lonely. It's very much John Candy. His mother, played by Maureen O'Hara, is one of the most stubborn, impossible people in the world. And John Candy meets Ali Sheedy's character. They sort of fall in love. I want to get married, but his mum doesn't approve of her in any way. She just doesn't really like her. But I don't want to say John Candy's a mummy's boy in the film, but he still has his mum's best interests at heart, and he wants to look after her. And there's always parts of the movie where he's imagining bad things happening to her. One of those scenes scared the shit out of me when I first saw it, and it was the opera
Halloween scene. Oh, the opera. Oh, the opera. Okay,
the opera with the
skeleton mask,
the skeleton phantom dude thing. That scared me shitless when I was young. When I first saw it, I was like, "Oh, that's nasty, man." Because he's there with Ali Sheedy at the opera watching this opera, and there's this character there who looks like a skull, and he's picturing his mum getting burgled by this character from the opera. It terrified me when I was younger. It shouldn't have, because it's not a horror film, but it's just one of those moments from a non-horror film where you go, "Oh no, that's nightmare fuel."
Yeah,
for me when I was younger, didn't like that stuff at all. But the rest of the movie, I really love. Jim Belushi as his partner, because John Candy's a cop in the movie, and Jim Belushi's his partner in the movie as well. He's great in this movie. Anthony Quinn as the neighbor, who's always he's trying to woo Maureen O'Hara for the entirety of the film. This is just a charming, likable movie with everything going for it. John Candy at the height of his powers, I think, in this one.
Yep.
Not a movie a lot of people ever really talk about either. Mm-hmm. It's just a John Candy rom-com.
Yep.
And it works on every level. It's just a delightful, charming, fun time, this film, and I really, really enjoy it. Really likable. It just has that Chris Columbus vibe to it as well. I would always think that this was a John Hughes written film, but it's not. It's solely Columbus.
Yeah.
Wrote and directed it. But yeah, just a really likable movie. Mm-hmm. Really likable. It just has that charm to it. And yeah, I just love it.
I wish it would get a proper, because it's totally out of print here. And my friend Sean from Movie Assault, he just made me a copy of it. So I watched it again, because every time I have to go to the bad, what do they call it, the black web or something,
the site that shall not be named.
Exactly. And to watch it, but I'm so glad now I finally have a copy, because I love that movie. You'll be hearing that soon.
It's delightful. One of my favorite scenes from the movie. It's not important or anything like that to the plot, but one of my favorite scenes. I absolutely love it. I find it really relaxing to watch, like borderline ASMR. Is the scene where he's getting the suit tailored.
Oh yes,
I love that scene. It's like just the expression on his face when he finds out how much it is. It's like $700 for the suit, and he's like,
"Do you have layaway?"
Yeah, he's like, "Do you have layaway?" He's like, yes, but the suit has to stay here. And he's like, oh yeah, of course, yeah.
This makes you look like a banker.
He looks like a banker. He's like, oh, a banker. He's like, how much would you like today? $700. It's brilliant. Yeah. It doesn't need to be in the film, but I'm so glad it's there. It's my favorite scene in the movie.
Absolutely. Oh, really?
It's only a little scene. It's about a minute long, but my God, I love it.
Yeah, that's such a great movie.
Yeah,
great movie. And I wish people would have seen it, more, because it just, man, it's just it's a beautiful movie. It's like my favorite Robert Downey Jr. movie is Heart and Souls.
Yeah,
with Elizabeth Shue.
Yeah,
I that kind of reminds me of that movie. How charming those actors are in that, and it's just, I wish, I mean, he's in this, he's getting paid like $80 billion, to be Dr. Doom and shit like that. But I know he's getting up there in age and stuff. But man, I wish he would return to the physical comedy stuff he did earlier in his life.
I think too, he's too big now. I think he's too big.
Yeah,
stuff like I still think Chaplin's his best movie for me personally. I still think that's the best acting he's ever done.
Okay,
but Heart and Souls is just one that goes under the radar, and
chances are too. That's another beautiful movie that just gets no love.
Yeah, but yeah, I actually got into this film because I actually had a really big crush on Ali Sheedy when I was younger.
Oh yeah,
when she was in The Breakfast Club. Like that's what drew me to the movie, and then I found out John Candy was in it, and I was like, this is actually a really, really good, likable film.
I loved her ever since I seen her in War Games. I was age appropriate at that time to love Ali. Yes, I was age appropriate to love Ali Sheedy at the time because I was in 8th grade, when that movie came out. But that whole movie just resonates with me so much. Yeah. That's a great choice, Andy.
Yeah, number 5 for me. I mean, we're only at number 5, and we've still got 4 more big ones to talk about.
Absolutely.
We're hitting the gold stuff now, I think.
Absolutely.
But yeah, this is my number 5. If you've not seen this, do check it out. It's such a charming, lovely film.
Absolutely.
Only the Lonely. So
yeah,
that's my number 5. So just missing out on the podium places for you, Kenny. You're number 4.
Number 4, and I hate to put this number 4, but Splash is 1984 Splash. Love everything about it. Once again, Candy and Tom Hanks have great chemistry together. It's a Ron Howard movie. You can see the charm with the Ron Howard movie, where he's Freddy, and he, from the scenes where he was like a little kid dropping coins to look up girl skirts and stuff like that. And then you go to this, current day, he drops a bunch of coins and Tom Hanks grabs them. Will you get up? Oh, I dropped some change. And then another one that me and my brother still do, I made it. He gets out of his car and he goes, I'm in Penthouse Forum. It's a little thing called A Lesbian No More. It's a really beautiful. It's and me and my brother are like laughing uncontrollably, and we still get like looks about that. But yeah, just man, when they play the doctors to try to get into the tent, the tent, and then you see what they're actually saying, and Tom Hanks is like, "How'd you know that?" And he goes, "I read German porn magazines,"
Yeah, it's a great film. I really, really like it. It just follows Tom Hanks from when he was a kid.
Yeah,
nearly drowned, and he was saved by a mermaid. And then years and years pass, and he's like convinced that this mermaid exists, in the form of Daryl Hannah. You've Eugene Levy again, who's a bit of an arsehole at first, but then redeems himself, I think, in the movie. And you've got John Candy as Tom Hanks' brother, and the two of them work off each other so well.
Yeah.
So well in the movie. Yeah.
I love this guy. I love this guy. It's just so, and you can just see they were just having a ball on that during that shooting, you know. Dr. Carr smell with the dumb brothers.
Oh yeah,
you know, it's just so funny, and it's like the stuff that Eugene Levy gets into. It just sort of reminds me of the Coyote and Roadrunner kind of thing, you know, where he's just getting beat up, and you can all you're missing is the sign, you know, help me, you know.
Yeah, he has. There's one moment where he does get his little victory, where he sprays her with water.
Yes,
and then a tail shows. There's a great effect in that movie where she's getting in the bath.
Oh yeah,
and you see her leg change from
like
the flesh to the tail opens up, and then you see the scales.
That's pretty cool.
Really cool effect. But yeah, it's just it's kind of like a Sunday afternoon movie for me.
Absolutely.
I think Splash. Yeah, it's charming. It's a nice film. It's not perfect, but it is really enjoyable. But and that's fine. That's fine. It's being fine is fine, and that's okay. You know.
Yeah, I got a quick story about that movie. Yeah. I was working at Movies Unlimited at the time, and we were going out of business. They were closing down to just go online, you know, totally.
Yeah.
You know, even though our store was the highest in the district, they just were eliminating rentals and just, you know, you can purchase everything. So basically it was like 5 days left or something like that. And we were like, me and Rose, my partner in crime, we watched every movie. Like we would have like a ritual where we would start off with the Brady Bunch movie. Then we would go to Tommy Boy, and then we would watch her fiance, now husband of 30 some years now, would like John Lennon's Imagine.
Okay.
So while he was in the back and we were cleaning up, we'd play that. So we played that all night. So I said to Rose, let's liven it up a little bit, you know, since we're going out of business, you know, and stuff, and start playing some like R-rated movies or PG-13. we had to cut it off. There was no PG-13 movies allowed to play.
Yeah.
So I said, how about Splash? She goes, oh, I haven't seen that for a long time. Well, I forgot the part where she gets out of goes to the Liberty and she's naked. Okay. So there was two little kids. We had 4 19-inch TVs like around. There were 2 in the big hub, one in like the kids area and one in the back. Okay. So we're waiting on customers, don't think anything of it, and all I hear is a shriek, you know. All I hear is this little boy come out and go, Mommy, she's naked. And we both look up, and it's that scene, and I'm like, oh shit, Rose, I'm sorry. And she goes, fuck it, we got 5 days. What are they going to do, fire us? You know? So I went to the mom, and I apologized, and I said, you know, it's no cursing, no nothing like that. And she goes, oh, that's okay. They've seen each other's naked butts before, you know, they're just, you know, like that. So that was the one time where I was like, oh my God, because we still laugh. I texted her and she goes, yeah, just don't be showing any Splash movies, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a cute reminder of working at a video store.
Exactly. That's what it's all about, Kenny.
Yeah.
You know, you have those memories tied to those scenes and those films. And yeah, she comes out naked, but I think she has like hair covering.
Yeah, the hair's covering the boobs.
The important part.
It's just one. It's just the one scene where you see her butt, but you can't get that on Disney Plus now. That's why you have to get a physical copy of it.
Physical copy, yeah, absolutely. That's why physical is the best, in my opinion.
I agree with you.
But yeah, absolutely. So number 4 for you,
Splash.
Awesome. My number 4, you mentioned this one earlier. I think this was your number 7 or number 6. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But yeah, my number 4, The Great Outdoors.
Great movie.
Yeah. I watched this one last night or the night before. I can't remember which, but I watched it this week. Best time I've had with it.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, it's John Candy, him and his wife and sons just want to get away. They're on this vacation. Dan Aykroyd, who's kind of the brother-in-law from hell.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Turns up uninvited, because he has vacations as well, and he invites them, but they never show up. So he decides, I'm going to show up at their vacation uninvited, and he's got a bit more planned, on a bit of an agenda that he wants to carry out with them as the movie's climax goes on. But yeah, it's just the two of them not really getting on. One of the funniest scenes I absolutely loved in the movie was the water skiing scene. I thought that was great. Yeah, he's teaching his son to water ski, and Dan Aykroyd's there in the boat, like, he wants me to go. Oh, okay. Straight off, pulls him. It actually looks like John Candy, like they got a really good stunt double to do all that stuff. It really, really looks great. But yeah, this is just such a fun movie. It treads that line of family film and then not R-rated comedy, but a bit raunchy in places. Yeah. It treads that line, definitely, because I can't remember. I remember seeing this when I was a kid, but I can't remember if it was on late or if it was during the day.
Oh, okay.
Because if it's a raunchy comedy, it's never going to get played during the day on broadcast television. It just isn't. But my memory of it's very hazy. I always remember that shot of Dan Aykroyd getting out of the car at the start. Like, that is a memorable shot of Dan Aykroyd, and then he comes in with the camera, and yeah, it's just a fun movie. Absolutely love it. The stuff with the bear, God, that had me chuckling, where he throws the rope down to the cave, and he's like, "Okay, I'll pull you up," not knowing the big grizzly bear who's got the other end of the rope. It kind of reminds me of the Dennis Nedry stuff from Jurassic Park.
Yes,
a little bit, that stuff. But yeah, it's a fun movie. Absolutely love it. Really, really funny. Dan Aykroyd and Candy play off each other so well in this movie. They have great chemistry. It is a John Hughes written film, definitely. You can tell by the dialogue at the end of the movie,
and the pacing of it. Yeah, the look of the film as well. It's just, the movie looks great. That sort of cabin by the lake type of movie looks amazing, and yeah, great dialogue. And like I said, without spoiling it too much, Dan Aykroyd does have that agenda at the end of the film where he kind of tricks John Candy a little bit, but again, such a likable film. Bit of the raunch on the raunchier side in places for a Candy movie, but again, still kind of a safe film, but really like it. I like when they're sitting on the porch and they're talking about things, and Roman goes, "What do you see over there?" When they're like looking out, he goes, "I just see trees and water." He goes, "Come on, Chester, what else do you see?" "Trees." He goes, "Christ, I see condominiums."
Yeah.
There's money out there, Chester.
Yeah, because he's kind of just like, he's just got money on the mind all the time. Dan Aykroyd in this movie, he's like, wants to sell condos. He tricks John Candy into giving him money for one, and then he kind of has a change of heart and goes back.
Right.
But yeah, I kind of agree with you as well about the subplot of John Candy's son with the love interest.
Yeah, it was not needed.
It felt shoehorned in. But again, I just like this movie so much. I forget how much I like it when I go back and rewatch it. I'm like, oh yeah, I really, really need to watch this more. But yeah, number 4 for me is The Great Outdoors.
Yeah, it's good. I just had too many other ones to pop.
Too many other ones, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're number 3, Kenny?
Ooh, see now.
Yeah.
Three was totally ingrained. I can't go any lower with the other two. But number 3 is Only the Lonely. I just love. Now I could say he was a mama's boy. You know, he stayed in Chicago. He didn't want to go to Florida because of his mom. But man, let me tell you, Maureen O'Hara, when he says, "I'm going out tonight with that dead girl, Mom, her name's Teresa." No.
Yeah.
And she goes, no, Danny, she's Sicilian. And he goes, yes. And then when she goes, oh, and I'm also Polish, and she goes, oh, heavens to mercy, or something at the dinner time.
Yeah.
And she's looking at the prices, and she goes, I will just eat bread. I will fill up on bread.
Yeah, because she makes him feel bad as well. Like,
yeah,
if he's enjoying this other girl's company, she'll make him feel bad.
Yeah, and it's like you know what? I could totally relate to that character so much. You know, man, the scene where he has her in bed and she comes home early from the brothers.
Yes.
So perfect. And how many times have we when she goes, you're still a growing boy. You know, that my mom was the same way in the beginning, where she gets her pastry and he's eating a yogurt. You know, you're still a growing boy. And he goes, I'll start the diet tomorrow. You know,
yeah.
And it's just, there's so many great scenes in there. You know, and sometimes it's great to be a cop. You know,
oh yeah.
That line just is like so good.
And it shows up a couple of times in the movie, and it's a great line.
And the scene that breaks me is where they break up, and right after the dinner, and she said, you know, that was the first time I ever fought for myself. Why won't you fight for me?
Yeah.
You know, and that just, you know, it just stings because he is fighting for her in a way, but she just doesn't see it at the time. You know?
Yeah, he's trying to keep the two people happy, but in doing so, he can't keep either of them happy.
Yeah, because he's spiraling between three people. He's got his asshole brother, you know, that wants him to go somewhere he doesn't want to go, and then he's spiraling between his mom, you know, and Teresa, and it's just like it's such a. This is my favorite acting work that John Candy did in the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, because he is so good in this movie and so smooth. The only thing that I had a problem with and rewatching it again that I didn't notice when I watched it earlier was they had so much makeup caked on him.
Right.
That like he looked orange, you know, in some scenes. I don't know if that's the copy that I was watching on the site that will not be named. But I never noticed that before, even when I seen it in the movies, and you know, but it was just the makeup that he had on. Because I was like, man, you could have kept a little bit of makeup off, you know, especially in the scene where the two older guys bring the dead guy in to have his last shot, and he goes up to the bar, and he goes, "Hey, what's going on?" He flashes his badge.
Yeah.
I could just tell, like, he just like looked like an Oompa Loompa at that point. But another thing about this, I don't know if you got Johnny Carson had Maureen O'Hara. I'll send you this link later on.
Yeah.
And he had her on the Tonight Show promoting this. And Johnny Carson was a huge Maureen O'Hara fan. Never had her on before. It was the only time she was on the Tonight Show. So basically they were there, and John was just like sitting there and just like talking and stuff like that. And she goes, basically, Hal, they got this, how she, those Chris Columbus, and he goes, she said, I met a nice boy called Christopher, and he wanted me to do this part, you know. And he said, well, she said, the only way that I will do this movie is if I met John Candy. And he said, okay. So John flew from Toronto to Chicago to meet her for a lunch. And when he came in, she said, I felt like we were a mother and son. He had that like loving, vibe about him. And another story with about that was Jim Belushi was talking about John Candy in like a YouTube clip that I seen, and he said, "Yeah," he goes, "I did this movie with John." He goes, "Only the Lonely," and he said, "I only did a couple hours there." He said, "But I hung around the set all the time." He said, "Because we had friggin' Anthony Quinn and Maureen O'Hara there." He goes, these are two legends, He goes, I was only in the movie for about 5 minutes. He said, but I stayed there for days while they were filming, just like watching, And he said the first day comes in, John has this big, they called it the party house, because after John was done filming, or all the cast and crew, it didn't matter who it was, they would all go to John's, because John had food, he had booze, he had beer, and stuff like that. So one day he goes past and he looks over and he goes, whose trailer is that? And he goes, oh, that's Maureen O'Hara's. And he goes, oh, no, it's not. And he said that next day he called the people who do the trailers. He said the Duke's girl is not going to be in that trailer. Wow. So he flipped trailers. And he said when they did that, the studio gave her a big trailer just like him. So that's a really cool story, because he said he didn't want as Jim Belushi said, didn't want the Duke's girl to be in a little trailer, especially for her first movie back. So she was great. Anthony Quinn, Nick the Greek,
Yes, yeah. Yeah, it's just such a delightful, likable film.
It's a charming movie. It's like you can't go wrong. And when he lists the reasons you can't go out with me,
Yes.
It's you're washing your hair, you're blowing your hair dry, you're getting your nails done, It's just so beautiful, and you can just see, man. And plus, Allie right there, she absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful girl.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a shame that her career didn't take off more, I think.
Yeah, but then again, it's like, these people, they have families, and like when they're not hot, they just like, and with the 90s, they were like more in with like kids stuff, you know. You didn't see that many like mature, like even like in the third, like, I mean, I think the most mature movie that I seen at like in the 90s was Reality Bites. And then when you got to the before movies, before Sunset, I mean, because they were talking about like Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy were my age. So like their problems I could relate to. Maybe you I know you were younger, but in those and like now when you're watching them 30 years later, you can relate to that, because
you go back and relate to it then. But you're watching it through a different set of from a different time period of glasses is what you watch it through, but you can still get something from it and still relate to the movie. Yeah, completely get that.
Because I remember when the Flintstones came out in 94, my buddy was like, oh, this is stupid, oh, this is just, I said, yeah, but here's the thing, you don't have kids yet. I said, when you have kids, your kids are going to watch this 1 billion times. And then when he had kids, because he was always like, I'm going out to Wendy's or Burger King, for lunch, and spending like $20 a day. And I remember when he got married and was having his first one, he met up. I didn't have a lot of money, So it was like I was always brown bagging it, and he would laugh at me and go, "Ooh, look, Kenny, a Whopper, ooh," look, like that.
Yeah.
Next day, he comes to sit with me in the lunchroom, and he's got like a bologna and cheese on like 2 little hamburger rolls. I said, "What? No Wendy's or Burger King today?" He goes, "Lisa's pregnant. And we got one on the way, so those days are over." And I'm
Those
like,
days are
"Oh,
gone.
see." And then what happened? The kid, both of his girls were watching those movies all the time that he was making fun of. Like I remember him coming in when the Spice Girls were like super popular,
Yeah.
and he goes, "I don't know how many times I've watched that movie," and I'm like,
Wow.
"Dude, enjoy it now, because when you get older and they're grown up," I said, "you're going to wish that time came back," you know.
Yes. Yeah.
And now it makes you feel old because you remember holding this little girl. It was like when my niece got married. I just remember holding her, and now his oldest one is a CSI. She works for
Wow.
the CSI. So that little girl that was watching the Flintstones and Spice World all the time is now a CSI. Works for CSI.
Yeah.
So it's just, they grow up so fast. So no matter what like stupid thing that they're into at the time, just enjoy it while you can.
Absolutely. It's a lesson that time flies.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
Yeah, and you've got to enjoy it while it lasts. But again, you've linked the movies to that with the Flintstones, and you've got to say you've got to enjoy them while that time when it lasts.
These are all a moment in time. I mean, that's what people, and some of those movies will last forever. Like a lot of these movies now, they last forever with me in memory, because my top 10, I seen every one of these except for Stripes in the theaters. Yeah. I didn't see Stripes until home video, but every one of my top 10 I seen in the movies. Yeah. And it was the same. It was except for Uncle Buck. Everyone I seen with my mom and my brother. They're no longer here. So, but I still remember going to them, and I could tell you what we did after each movie. That we snuck into another movie. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was just like, because my mom was good for that. She goes, "Boys, go to the bathroom, and I'll meet you in the next one." So you'd hear like down the row, and there's like about 8 people in there. She's like, boys, psst, like that. real conspicuous, But at that time, they never checked it because they were kids our age, at the time, and they're probably like sneaking in their friends too. So
exactly. But great memories, Kenny.
Yeah, it's nice to talk about that.
Yeah. So you're number 3, Only the Lonely.
Only the Lonely.
Yep. My number 3 was one of your honorable mentions.
Okay.
But again, you said it has a great ensemble cast, this movie, which it does. And I remember getting this movie on VHS, and I could not wait to watch it because I wanted to see it for the comedy, the other movies it was spoofing. You can probably guess which one I'm going with now. But yeah, my number 3, Spaceballs.
Yeah.
As Boff, he's very much Chewbacca in this movie.
Yeah.
That's who he is. But yeah, he's half man, half dog, Boff. Yeah, he's just great. He's the great sidekick to Bill Pullman's Lone Star in the movie.
Yep.
He's very much the Han Solo of the film, and Pizza the Hut put a bounty on their head, and they get a chance to win, in the words of Bill Pullman, a shit ton of money and pay off the debt. And yeah, it's a whole parody of sci-fi films at the time, but particularly Star Wars. Mel Brooks driven vehicle. It's getting a sequel next year, which is insane.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'll be there watching it, definitely. Yep. But yeah, like you said, John Candy is just great in this role. The way the introduction to him where he's just dancing around the
Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi. Yeah, you see the shoes where the dog paws have like burst out the front of the shoes, and then you see the tail. That's scene at the end where he's in the diner and the tail's like wafting the waitress's dress, and she's like, "Hey, keep, can't you control it?" He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, it's got a mind of its own." He's just great in the movie, and you kind of forget it's John Candy under the makeup a little bit, but yeah, it's such a great ensemble cast. Rick Moranis as well as Darth Helmet.
Dark Helmet.
Yeah. I just love the movie. Love the movie.
It is good. It just didn't and you know how he got that role? When he was making Summer Rental was directed by Carl Reiner. Yeah. Carl Reiner's best friend was Mel Brooks. And he called him up and he said, "I'm working with this kid, John Candy." And he goes, "Mel, you got to come down." And he said they had him and his wife, Carl Reiner's wife, had a house in Florida. He said that was basically like Party Central, basically. Yeah. And he said, "You got to meet this kid, John Candy. He is so good." He said, really funny. And he said, "Oh, okay," like that. And he said they had lunch like about 15 minutes. And he said, "How would you like to do my movie?" And that's how he got Spaceballs, just from Summer Rental.
Wow, and it worked because he's great in the movie. He's one of the best stars of the movie.
Yeah, and very memorable too.
Very memorable.
I am still stunned that they never put out like any kind of like Funko Pops of like Barf. Or like any of the like Dark Helmet, it's like, and what also I don't know if you're going to touch on this either. Mel Brooks called George Lucas to ask him, about it, and he showed it. George Lucas was fine with everything in the movie. Wow. He thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, because there's a scene in the film with Mel Brooks, and it's all about the merch. In the movie, there's like Spaceballs, the dolls, Spaceball, the lunchbox, the action figures.
Yeah, I'm really surprised they never did Funko Pops.
They never released them, and never did. Funko hasn't used it as a property to touch on or make Funkos for, like you said. But yeah, it's comedy's subjective, so this movie's going to work for you or it isn't.
Right.
I think it helps if you've seen the films it's spoofing as well.
Yeah,
definitely. Star Wars, definitely. Alien, a little bit of Planet of the Apes at the end as well.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It definitely does, but I still like it. The cast is just great. Rick Moranis, Daphne Zuniga, Bill Pullman, John Candy,
Colonel Sanders.
It has one of the best homages to Alien as well.
Oh yeah,
with John Hurt even coming back to do it, and yeah, I love the movie. I can't talk too much more about it because it's a spoof comedy,
right?
But yeah, I loved it. This is the one I have the nostalgia for more so than definitely Cool Runnings.
Oh, okay.
I grew up with this one a hell of a lot more. For me, and I love the movie.
Was it something your friends talked about too? Like
a little bit. Yeah, there was my friend Mike, because we went to school together. He's also does YouTube. We kind of saw this at a very, very similar time.
Oh, okay.
We'd be talking about it all the time at school and stuff like that, and because we kind of grew up in the 90s, but me and him always used to talk about movies from the 80s, and we were really the only two who did that. And this was one of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we kind of watched it at a similar time, and we just really both enjoyed it. Really funny moments at the time. I think the comedy for me doesn't hit as much now as it used to in the movie, but I still love the movie. I can put the movie on, watch it from start to finish, and by the end I go, that was still a good time. Really enjoyed it. So number 3 for me, Spaceballs. Yeah,
I seen that the same day, and I think it came out about the same time, maybe a week before, because I remember seeing Spaceballs the week, but Dragnet with Tom
Yeah.
Hanks, and that I think that opened up a week before because I remember because I was graduating high school at the time, and that came. I think Dragnet came out like the 21st or 22nd, in around that time in '87, and then the following week was Spaceballs. I think because we seen a double feature. We seen Dragnet first, and then Spaceballs, and then went, and that's another thing. And then we went to McDonald's and ate Big Macs. So I just like I like I
Yeah.
couldn't tell you like what I had for dinner, but I still can remember back to
Remember that?
1987 seeing these movies together. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. But it's a great one. So yeah, my number three.
That's a great pick. None of these are like are bad. It's just like if you have a personal relationship
Yeah,
with these movies. You know?
exactly. That's it. Yeah. I've got a feeling we're gonna have the same number two.
Uh,
Same top two, I should
yeah,
say.
I think so.
But
Yeah.
I think the order might be flipped.
Oh, okay. That fair enough. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
but
not.
that's
It's.
the way you
I
could do it.
don't think either one of us have Once Upon a Crime in our
No,
top in our top 10.
no, definitely not Wagons East or Canadian Bacon.
Yeah, sorry, they just didn't make the cut. And
No,
fair enough. I've never seen Wagons East.
neither have I.
Can't
Neither have
get my
I.
I can't get myself to watch it.
I've
Can't
heard it's
get
bad. I've heard it's bad. I know Jim mentioned it was pretty terrible.
Yeah, it upsets me too. It would upset me too
Yeah,
much to watch. It's like there's another movie the Chris Farley movie with Matt Perry.
almost heroes.
Almost
Yeah,
Heroes. Can't get
yeah,
myself to watch it
yeah,
because it's like you see Tommy Boy and you see this guy that's like totally fucking strung out on drugs,
yeah,
during because they were both like high when they were doing it.
yeah.
Matt Perry writes in his book that they were both high
Well,
on cocaine.
it would be even tougher as well because we've lost Matthew Perry now as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will admit that movie is funny. It does have some funny moments.
Oh, really? Okay. I
do like, but I completely get why you've put off watching it. I really have. I really do. Do you get it? But I do like that movie in parts. It's not a great film, but it has its moments. But yeah, Tommy Boy and Black Sheep are like that's top tier Chris Farley.
Yeah.
Like
I like Beverly Hills Ninja better than
Ninja.
Black Sheep. But yeah, I understand what you mean because, man, what could have been with that guy?
Yeah, definitely. But I say these top two for me anyway. These are the two greatest John Candy movies.
Yeah, for me they are.
For me, and I'm willing to bet they're both John Hughes movies.
You got it. They are.
Yeah.
My number two is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yeah.
It's just a 1987 movie. We could never figure out because me and my brother talked about this like at length one night. We were up and we were just like we had just watched it, like it was like around Christmas time, and we were trying to think, was he estranged from his wife at the time? And because remember the kids are talking about, oh, daddy's coming home.
Yeah.
And we could never figure out if like he was working in Chicago at the time, or where he was living in New York because he had to get to Chicago. But we were trying to figure out if he was estranged from his wife.
Okay.
And they were trying to come back and make things, good for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
We always tried to think that, but it's very like loose. I would love to watch the whole movie. Somewhere there's a whole movie of that, and I don't care if it's 5 hours. I will sit and watch 5 hours of it. But we always tried to think if they were trying to rekindle their, romance or something like that, or they were headed for divorce. Could never figure that out. But Yeah, and basically he meets Del Griffith, shower curtain ring division on the
Yeah,
road, and Kevin Bacon has a cool cameo in it
yeah,
from as he literally stepped off the set of She's Having a Baby to do that scene, and yeah, there's a lot of cool, a lot of SCTV people, Groundlings people. Tito and Santa's the guy that picks Steve Martin by the balls. Was a
yeah,
was a longtime friend of John Candy's. He was actually his driver for a couple of years too, like to get him from place to place. And he said whenever John and Tito were there, you knew there was going to be a party because Tito always had beer in his car.
yeah.
So, but yeah, it's just a great movie. I mean, just the and that's another one you could tell these guys liked each other. You
Yes.
know,
Yeah.
you can feel when the chemistry is off with some, like there was a movie that came out with Downey Jr. and Zach Galifianakis,
Due date. Yeah.
Due Date, and you could tell they did not get along during that movie because and they were trying to recreate planes, trains, and
Yeah.
automobiles,
Yeah.
but it just felt off. And even Zach Galifianakis said that he was busy doing another movie and he would come in to do scenes, and he said he wasn't like abrupt with everybody, but when he left.
Yeah.
So but you didn't get that with that chemistry, and it's just a lovely movie. Just the scene that kills you is at the train when
Yeah.
he figures out there's no Marie,
Yeah.
And just yeah, that's another one where they're do you think this car is occupational the right? I do, sir. Yes, I do. it's it's
Yeah.
funny it melted, but hey, the radio still works.
It's all, yeah. He's like, do you know how fast you were going? He's like, well, it's a little hard to tell with the melted
Speedometer melted.
speedometer.
And man, it's just there's just like she gave birth sideways. Interesting. We got it. Look what we're
Yeah.
doing.
She didn't scream or nothing. She may be small and skinny, but she's strong.
And the other one that always makes me laugh, that is that when they're at the counter, and he goes, "Go ahead and count it, $247.14."
Yeah.
And he opens up and he goes, "Nothing." He goes, "Nothing." And he
Yeah.
looks in there and he goes, "I think we were robbed." And Steve Martin goes, "You think so?" Oh my God.
Yeah.
So funny.
It's-
So many scenes in that is like great.
Yeah. It is. It's great. I'll touch on it a little bit,
Okay.
but I guess saying it without saying it, it's a little higher on my list.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Fair enough.
But yeah, it's there's a couple of things that I've watched a couple of videos about planes, trains, and automobiles. Certain things that pop up about things you may have missed in the movie or things you didn't know about the film. And there's one scene, the pillow scene. Where's your other hand? It's between two pillows. Those aren't pillows. That scene where they both stand up, and there's a picture on the wall above the bed.
Right.
There's two great big dirty handprints on the wall.
Okay.
When you watch that, so it just shows you how dirty that hotel room is.
Oh, I didn't even catch that.
If you watch the picture on the wall, there's a handprint on either side of the wall, like black handprints, like dirty. So someone's been railed in that bedroom,
right?
Before they used it, and it's really gross.
Oh,
you notice it. It's really dirty and bad. The other scene, obviously, with Dylan Baker when he turns up to give them the lift.
Yeah.
And he sort of gobs in his hand, and then he immediately shakes Steve Martin's hand. It's like, oh no, it's disgusting.
Well, I didn't know that they changed sets in that movie.
Mm.
The scene at the diner is the same at the train station. They just reversed everything.
Wow.
I seen that on a YouTube thing also, and there's so many great bloopers in that movie where he's smoking. He's literally smoking and eating a chili dog at the same time, and he's eating the chili dog and smoking, and a piece of the chili goes on his tie. And he just flips his tie and catches the chili bean, and you see Steve Martin like laughing on the other side, and they go and cut.
It's there's so many great moments.
Yeah,
in it to count, but yeah, like I said, I'll touch on it a little bit more, a little bit higher.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah,
mine, but no, my number 2 is a movie you haven't mentioned yet.
Wow, I wonder why.
So, I wonder why, and I wonder if it is going to pop up on yours. We'll see. Maybe. I know you kind of like this movie.
Yeah, kind of.
I couldn't get it to number 1, but my God, this is such a good movie. Yeah, my number 2 is Uncle Buck.
Such a great movie.
Yeah, Uncle Buck. It follows a couple who the mother is her father's had a heart attack, and she has to leave town. But they need someone to look after the kids. So the father, there's no one else they know who can do it. So the father says, "All right, as a last resort, I'll have to ask Buck, who's his brother, to come and look after the kids." And Buck is someone who isn't really someone the parents would hang out with regularly or have over. He's, I don't know how you describe him. His heart's in the right place, but he just maybe hangs out with the wrong type of people.
Right.
Yeah, he just lives in an apartment over a railway line, and yeah, just his girlfriend Shanice, who deals in tires, and they're very more like suburban and upper class. His brother and his wife. So it's very much The Odd Couple. This is this type of movie. His niece is the one that gives him the hard time, and they're probably the two best characters in the movie. I think is Buck and his niece, because they butt heads immediately in the movie. She just takes an instant dislike to him straight away, and they just step on each other's toes. Yeah, I just love the movie, but as the movie goes on, you kind of see that they both need each other to become better people, and
they're the two black sheeps of the family.
Yeah, couldn't have put it better. Yeah. Yep. And they hate each other at first, and then by the end of the movie, they've got nothing but respect for each other. At the end of the movie, it's so great when he drops her off at school, and she says, "I'm not going to be here," and he's like, "Stand me up today, and tomorrow I'll walk you to your first class in my bathrobe."
I wish they would have had that scene in it. I wish they did. Wish they did, because if you've seen on YouTube, they have the official trailer. Because I remember seeing the other trailer where he's like, "Meet Uncle Buck," and he raises up and he's got all kinds of cuts on his face with the toilet paper on there. That's not in the movie.
No,
because it was cut. I would give anything to see Planes, Trains, and Uncle Buck just uncut with every scene in it, And I remember seeing that the trailer, And my mom goes, "We are so there," you
Hmm.
know, opening day. Go ahead, Andy. I'm sorry.
Nope, nope. We may as well talk about Kenny because I'm assuming it's your number one.
It is my number one movie, Uncle Buck.
Yeah.
It is my favorite. Next to Star Wars, it's my Star Wars is Star Wars, but Uncle Buck is like my favorite movie of all time.
Yeah.
I okay, this is I'll give you a brief. Came out August 16th, 1989. Okay. Day before my brother's birthday. We always went to the movies on our birthdays.
Yeah.
Okay. Me, my mom, and my brother. We got to pick our movie. The local paper, me and Chris delivered, my brother's name is Chris. Me and Chris delivered the Courier Post. That Friday, they had when they had movie ads in newspapers, things that kids don't get these days. They had a thing in there, $5 off, bucks, okay, and it was up to three people. So me and Chris, we went to our neighbors and say, "Hey, are you going to use yours?" Because we delivered all of our papers, but we had one, and then we knew we were going to see it another day, so we just wanted to get another one. So Frank and Kathy, thank you, Kathy and Frank, gave us their newspaper so we could go see it the next day, and it was only good for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Okay, so we went the first day. Oh my God, we laughed our we laughed so hard that we like had to stay for the next showing because we were laughing so hard we were missing stuff, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we seen it Saturday with my mom, and then my brother for his birthday had like his friends, so we went again on Sunday with his friends. Laughed our asses off. And I remember I've had this on every format possible. I've had it on DVD, I've had it on Laserdisc, I've had it on VHS, and now I have it on 4K. I have the same one as you do.
Hmm.
And I remember when we brought it home to watch on DVD. At the time, Blockbuster had the thing where you bought the DVD player and you got three free movies. Okay, well, Uncle Buck was one of them. Well, here it was locked in French. Okay, so
Yes, I remember.
we we put it in, and we started watching it. And my mom goes, "Jesus Christ, boys, fix this goddamn movie," because it was French, you know.
Yeah.
So we played. My mom got up and she was mad at us because we were just enjoying it in French because we've seen it so many times, you know, before. So it was like we watched it in French, and then we finally called her in and turned it on. You know, we changed the setting to English. Okay, so we watched it and watched it. So me and my brother can do we can do the whole movie in French. We can you know, and that was a movie that my mom hated watching with us because we were just like reciting it, and she goes, there was nothing more annoying for her than watching reciting the movie to her, you know. But oh man, the Marcy, you know, hey, is this start that dirty dancing stuff? Another reunion with Laurie Metcalf from
Yeah.
JFK too that they would do, you know, in the next couple of years, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
She's kind of like a horny, lonely housewife from
Marcy,
the neighbor. Yeah.
Marcy Daldrin Frost, and I've kept the hyphen in there. Oh, sure. I don't
Yeah.
see why you wouldn't. Yeah.
But yeah, she kind of takes a bit of a liking to it
Yeah.
in the movie. But yeah, and then obviously the niece brings Shanice in, and that opens up a can of worms for him later on. But I love the scene with Mike Starr as the clown.
Put it there. I'll put it in the cloud. Hey.
Jeez. Do you have a few drinks this morning? He's like,
What are you, Mother Cabrini?
yeah, get in your mouse and get out of here.
And he took, and if you noticed, if you watch Dutch, the 93 movie Dutch, Ed,
Yes. Yeah.
Ed Ed has the Buck horseshoe
Oh, does he?
ring. That's when he punches the guy in the face.
Yeah.
He's wearing the Buck Russell ring
Oh,
with the
nice.
horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the horseshoe on it. So there's another one. It's like I was watching it because when my brother was on vacation or something, he would leave a message. He's like, "It's 7:02 on W. I don't have to go to work this week." Sponsored by
Yeah.
Shanice Kowalski for the best in tires. See Shanice Kowalski. Tweedledee.
It's I don't know what more we can say about it. It's just a fantastic movie.
Yeah, I could be here for like hours breaking stuff down, and the scene at the party. A lot of people hate this hat.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why.
He's about to go in because he's looking for his niece at this party, and the guy says, "Oh, I don't know, man. I wouldn't go in there. They'll eat you up." Like, so I'll take my chances, and then he goes in to this house party, and then someone steals his hat, and he ends up stealing back the wrong one. And then he sees it later on. Someone's wearing his hat, and he's like, "Give me that back." Swaps the hats over. Oh god, it's just, it's such a fun film. Obviously the famous scene where he's talking to the principal of the school. Yeah. He's like,
"I'd hate to see a 5-year-old that's not a dreamer."
Yeah, have a rat gnaw that thing off your face. It's like, oh,
with the quarter. Yeah. Yeah, it's just so great, and that scene with the little boy, that was one of the there was a little boy like one of the cast people, like the set people. That was his little boy, and he was there because he couldn't get people. So John said to bring him over. So John started talking to him and stuff like that. So basically, that was all improvised, right there. Wow. There was no script for that.
Wow,
that was all improvisation. And it was just like one of like the set director's kids or something like that. It was just like there was nothing written for that scene before he went in there, you know. And when he's got the clothes hanging by the ceiling fan and stuff, you know, because my uncle couldn't get the goddamn washer to work. Blasphemer!
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's actually like kind of like a jump scare almost.
Yeah.
Blasphemer. Yeah. It really, you've got to prepare yourself for that when you watch it. But yeah,
and when he has to take a piss at the kids' urinals.
Oh, it's like so low to the ground.
So funny. Yeah. And he sees these little legs dangling from the toilet.
Yeah.
It's just so great. It's just so funny.
It's great. It's both John Candy and John Hughes at the height of their powers, I think, just doing what they do best.
And it's a shame those guys had a falling out too. You know, it's like Catherine O'Hara said, I don't know how anybody could be mad at John because he always gave. You know, I mean that we can talk about that after we're done our top 10, but like he was basically doing other people, you know, he would just come in and just do other people's, you know, and he gave up big paychecks, you know, to do other people's movies, you know,
for like, pretty much for friends.
Yeah. I mean, like Daniel Stern, he came in and did Rookie of the Year, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just Uncle Buck's still my favorite movie. I don't care. I'll go to the grave with that. And I said to my brother, I said, I want to be buried with a copy of that, just so I have it when I go to heaven.
There were 4 John Hughes films that I would always watch together: Breakfast Club, Ferris Bueller, Uncle Buck, and Planes, Trains. I'd watch those 4 together. Uncle Buck would always be my least favorite, but it's really shot up for me now. I enjoy it so much more. I think they're 4, if not 4 of the greatest John Hughes movies ever for me. Those 4 films,
yeah,
I love them all. and I can binge watch all 4 of them. Sometimes I'll take a day out of the weekend or something, and I'll put those 4 films on, and they represent John Hughes at his finest for me. They really do.
I would take out Ferris,
Mm.
and I would add 16 Candles because
Okay. Yeah.
16. Those movies spoke to me personally because I was in high school at the time when that was, and another movie that does not get the love it should, and I wish people would get invested in this is as you get older, she's having a baby.
Yeah.
When you're like in your 20s and 30s, now I'm in my late 50s, that movie means so much more, because when you're 20, you're not thinking about that stuff,
No.
And it's like as you're getting older, like they were like in their mid 20s, early 30s, that's when you start thinking about that kind of stuff. And then now when you're watching it, it's just like it goes, man, that never clicked when I seen it like in the movies or when I watched it at home. But man, that really gets in your and sticks in your head. And it's just like it's amazing that Hughes had that foresight and that forethought.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, when he made especially 16 Candles speaks to me Breakfast Club. Okay, I tie them like 1A, 1B.
Yeah.
Okay, but there was the geek, there was the athlete, there was the princess, in every high school, I don't care what high school you went to, there was always somebody like that. And if you did, I remember my friend, he had a nervous breakdown his junior year of high school because his parents put so much pressure on him to be smart.
Yeah.
And all he wanted to do was not like fuck around or anything like that, but he just wanted to be a kid.
To be himself, yeah.
To be himself and trying, because there's so much with that you have to figure out who you are when you're at that age. And God love my mom. She let me and my brother be ourselves,
Yeah.
She let us figure out what we were going to be and what we were going to do, with that support and stuff. And there's like a lot of people out there that don't get that. But man, Hal Hughes, and he was single at the time too. When he wrote those, he wasn't married. I think he got married like during Great Outdoors. I think he got married like Outdoors when he got married. So to come up with a script about teenagers like that and knowing what they're thinking and what's in their heads and stuff like that, that really speaks on so many levels. And I know critics will go, "Oh, they're just stupid teen movies." But if you are that age, man, it's so smart and it's just so well done. And he wrote for people, and I think that's why Candy was so great, because I think they were like a 1A and 1B kind of guy. They were the same kind of people really inside.
Yeah.
And it just spoke to a lot of people.
Yeah. He was for me the greatest screenwriter of the 80s.
Absolutely.
He said, I think in an interview, he said, "I don't write teenagers as teenagers. I write teenagers as people."
Yes. And that's such a smart comment, because he did. And another thing was like with John Candy, he never talked down the kids. Like when he's talking to Miles, he's looking at him straight ahead, and he gets down to, even when he's talking to the kids, like in the bedroom scene, he gets down to their level to talk. It was sort of like, I know you didn't have him over there, but that's how Mr. Rogers talked. There was a guy, Mr. Rogers here, that had a kids show, and he talked to little kids as individuals because they are little people.
Yeah.
And he didn't demean them as like, oh, stupid kids or anything. Because my uncle used to go, "You rotten kids," like very like funny, being, "You rotten kids," like that.
What Hughes didn't do was pigeonhole the demographic.
Yeah.
And give he broke the walls down of stereotypes, because that's what the Breakfast Club does. I know we're getting off topic here, but that's what the Breakfast Club does perfectly. is five very different stereotypes of teenagers at school, and by the end of the movie, they're all the same.
Mm-hmm.
They're all the same.
These stereotypes wouldn't necessarily have met other than being in detention.
Yeah.
You know, because like, I mean, there's one scene that always resonates with me with if I'm sorry guys, we're getting off topic, but it's still John Hughes. But there's one scene that still sticks in my head, and I am 56 now, is that when Anthony Michael Hall says, and Bender's there, they're all there, and he goes, "Will you talk to me in the hallway on Monday morning?" Yeah. Or, you know, and that just literally gives you goosebumps, because these people, Bender would have just like given him a wedgie or something, like if he didn't know him, or Amelia would have just annoyed him as just like a brain, you know. And of course the popular kids wouldn't, you know, or Allie, you know, the outcast. And that just always resonated with me, because it was like, even when I remember graduating high school, and I just remember, because I remember she was my history teacher, and then she turned into a principal and stuff like that. And she goes, take everything in your graduation day. Yeah. She goes, because you're never going to be this happy again, this young, and you're never going to see these friends that these people that you've been around for 4 years ever again. She goes, you might see them passing like in a mall, but they'll have something to do, you know, like they'll be with their family, or they're going to be with their friends or anything, because you're never going to see these people in that one place again. And that's how I resonated everything with 16 Candles and Breakfast Club, because everything is one place in time.
Yeah.
You know, and you're never going to have that again, you know. And believe me, being older, you know, it's like all these people go away, because they have their lives to live, you know. And it's just how he just can do that, just in words.
How he can put that on paper is just, it's mind blowing. The talent that man had at the time. He definitely lost his way, and he lost his touch when it came to the 90s, I think, because he couldn't recapture what he was doing in the 80s. But my God, what he was doing in the 80s was nothing short of some of the best pen to paper writing for.
I fully agree with you. It's like Curly Sue wasn't the same, you know.
Wasn't great, it wasn't.
You know, and it's, you know, but you're absolutely so right. It's like those four movies right there. You know, you could just it's just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, Weird Science is what it is, but that's a fun movie, but it's probably his most outlandish film. I think, just because of the concept, but there's still some fun to be had there. But 16 Candles, I mean, he wrote that over a weekend.
Yeah,
that's insane. How well he, you know, to
and
write
the depth of the characters, just as to do that, you know, because it's like you have to have such a huge mind to think of that, just to think of the premise, you know, because there's basically 5 people. It's you know, it's the principal and 6 people, you know, the principal and the kids. Yeah. And then you meet the janitor on the way out.
Yeah.
And that's a nice little Easter egg too, with the janitor.
You know? Because at the start of the Breakfast Club, you see the janitor's photo, and it says Man of the Year or something, Player of the Year, something like that. So you would have think he's gone on to do amazing things,
right?
But then you find out he's the janitor of the school.
Yeah.
But I'm not nothing wrong against custodians.
No, not at all. But that's a nice little Easter egg that I never found out until maybe about 5 years ago. Yeah,
John Hughes actually has a cameo in the Breakfast Club as well. But
really,
he plays Michael Anthony's father when he picks him up.
Oh, okay. Because Are you sure? Because I thought that I thought that was his real mom.
Yeah, it's his real mum and his real sister who drop him off at the start.
Oh, okay.
Well, when his dad
Oh,
picks him up again,
okay, gotcha.
His dad's played by John Hughes. Yeah.
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah.
I never picked up on that.
Yeah, you don't see his face full on, but you can tell it's him.
Right. Oh,
yeah.
that's so clever.
Yeah.
So clever.
But yeah. Anyway, Uncle Buck.
Yeah, Uncle Buck. I'm sorry. We got sideways on there. Sorry, folks.
But yeah, no, it's John Hughes and John Candy at their best again. It's just a wonderful, wonderful movie. Macaulay Culkin again as the when he's asking him the questions. What's your record for consecutive questions? Like
you have much nose hair than my your dad.
I'm a kid. That's my job. Yeah. It's just such a fun movie. But yeah, my number 2, your number 1, Uncle Buck.
Yeah.
So that leaves me with my number 1. No
Going
surprise.
berserk.
Going berserk. Yeah. Planes, trains, and automobiles. The two can be interchangeable for me.
Yeah.
When it comes to John Candy, they just are. But again, John Hughes again, killing it in this movie. It's another odd couple movie. Definitely, that's the premise. Steve Martin just wants to get home to his family, and everything that can go wrong does go wrong for him in this film. Hence the title: Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Every mode of transport, I think, apart from boat, they use to try and get home, and they keep bumping into each other. Then they go their separate ways. Then they come back and meet up again, and part ways again, and then meet up. And it's just such a wonderful film. The two work off each other so well. I love that scene where Steve Martin kind of has the breakdown at him, and he just takes all his anger out on John Candy. And he's like, "Didn't you notice when I started reading the vomit bag?
Yeah.
I was kind of losing interest." But yeah, and then you get that great response from John Candy where he's like, "That's fine. If you wanna have a go at me, then have a go at me. But know that I like me. My customers like me, and my wife likes me." And when the end of the movie happens, that scene hits harder.
Yeah,
I think when you go back and watch it the second time. But
the other scene that hits hard for me is when Dell doesn't let him in the room because he doesn't have enough money, and he's sitting out there, and he's all bundled up, and he goes, "I finally meet somebody, and I scare him away."
Yeah,
and he's talking to Marie the whole time.
Yeah,
just like it breaks you down, because it's like this guy is just like so lonely, and he just, he fills his time, but he's just so lonely. It's like what my mom used to say: you might know a lot of people, but you'll never meet people like family. That are there, and it's like he might know like so many people on the road and have many connections and stuff like that, but he's a lonely man.
Yeah, he is. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
When you watch it, and he's not very open because he spends so much time with Steve Martin's character that he doesn't. The first thing he says is not like, "My wife's passed on," or anything like that. He keeps that to himself.
Yeah.
But pretty much the whole movie, like that's his. But then you find out at the end he turns to him and he just goes, "She's been dead for 8 years," and then it just cuts to them both walking towards his house, and it's so good.
The hat scene where he's like crinkling his glove, and oh my god, it breaks you down. I've seen that so many times, and I still cry at the end of that movie. It's just so. It's just so great.
It is. It's when he smiles at the end.
Yeah.
I think John Candy, when he's kind of like, he has to sort of take it in where he is, and then he just has that big, infectious smile on his face. He's smiling back at him because it's so lovely. Such a lovely scene to end on.
Yeah, I am so glad they never made sequels to that or Great Outdoors.
Yeah.
Because Hughes would not allow that to happen. That's why.
Yeah. No.
So glad. I am so glad because it would have turned into Caddyshack 2.
Yeah. The less said about Caddyshack 2, the better, I think.
Exactly. But yeah, that's what it would have turned into. Just like cameos of like famous people and no story.
Yeah. But yeah, it's Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Probably, I know we don't celebrate it over here, but probably the greatest Thanksgiving movie.
Oh yeah, that's that. I wish they would do like on like here we have TBS and TNT, and they run 24 hours of A Christmas Story here in America. I wish they would do the same thing with Planes, Trains, and Automobiles and just run 24 hours of that.
Yeah, I mean, I watch this because I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. I watch this any time of the year. I just put it anytime. I watched it this week. Like, yeah, I can just watch this movie any time of the year. I love it that much.
Yeah, if I'm having a hard day or something, first thing I put on, I have it right there, right next to it's the first thing, is Uncle Buck.
Yeah.
So yesterday I was having a bad day with my leg with the pain and stuff like that, and I just put it on and it just like took my mind off of things, So it's like, if you ever have a bad day or something, pop in a John Candy movie. I highly recommend it because he'll just make you feel good.
Yeah, he will. It's something about the man. He's just
he's so damn likable.
Just watching his movies feel like a warm hug.
Yeah, that's so great. You feel like you know the man. Like I never met the man, in my life, but you feel like you know him. You feel like you could walk up to him and say hi to him, put out your hand and shake his hand. It's he just feels like somebody that you could have a beer with, like at a bar.
Yeah.
Because I feel that way about Tom Hanks too. I don't think, there's certain people that, they would call like security over. Like there's a basketball player here in America, Shaq.
Yeah.
Shaquille O'Neal. I mean, you see like little kids going over to him, and there was like security flopping on him, and Shaquille like grabs the security guy and like fucking throws him just to let the kid like hug his leg or something. It's like, what's a 2-year-old kid going to do because he just went to hug Shaq? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I feel the same way with like Tom Hanks. Keanu Reeves is the same kind of person. It seems like, just a man of the people. Just he appreciates people, and I think with John, I just think he enjoyed people, for what they were.
Yeah.
I think he was a very good man who made very good movies.
Yeah, because away from the camera, he sort of took him. He was a private guy, I think.
Family Guy. When he didn't do movies, he was up in Canada with his kids.
Yeah. But again, he had time for everyone. There's a clip of him I saw. He was out and about getting interviewed, and someone came up and asked him for an autograph, and he was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll sign that for you." He's like, "No problem at all." Yeah.
Yeah.
Time for anyone. And yeah, just didn't let, from what I've seen, didn't let fame get to his head.
Yeah, there's an old story about when he was doing Splash, and he said these guys there's only 2 guys, and there was like cable wires and cases and stuff that had to be moved. So John was just walking by. He had a cigarette in his mouth and a thing of coffee. He said because whenever he seen John Candy, there was 2 things: coffee and a cigarette dangling from his mouth. So he started helping the laborers. The guys moving the cases and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Ron Howard walked by and goes, "John, we need you over here, to film this." And he goes, "Oh, I got to help these guys move these cases." So Ronnie just went over and started helping moving because John was doing it, and those labor guys probably didn't even know who the hell John Candy was because they were just paid that day to move cables
So
and,
it's just- yeah,
and boxes.
yeah.
And he said that's the kind of person he was. He said even Tom Hanks said when you knew where John was by the laughing.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah,
In the documentary, he said you always knew wherever John was to find him because there was always a crowd and there was always laughter. And that's I think that sums up. I think this that sums up the guy. He just brought a lot of happy. I know he's made my life a lot better because he just him being on screen, and the people I shared the experience with seeing his movies always made me feel a lot better, and
yeah.
to this day still makes me feel a lot better just watching his movies.
He was an actor. I think that we just as film fans, like across the board, like the people we know as well on YouTube, like nobody has a bad word to say about him, and no one
No.
says. People can say like, yeah, that movie wasn't great or anything like that, but the great ones we all gravitate to and we all love. We can
Mhm.
just watch them, and you're in good hands with John Candy in a
Mhm.
movie. Even if the movie's bad, he's probably going to be the best part about it. But
Yeah, or have a memorable scene in it.
yeah,
It's like there was one movie he did with Bobcat Goldthwait, Hot to Trot, where he's the talking donkey, he's the talking horse in it.
okay,
Another movie that he should never have done because he was coming off of like make he I mean and like a lot of like these movies that he did where like Summer Rental was a big hit,
mm,
Splash was a hit, Only Lonely bombed, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles was a big hit, Uncle Buck was a huge hit. So he was hit or miss. I'm not saying
yeah,
all of his movies were like like Avengers type because comedies don't bring in adventure. The only one that I can really remember is Home Alone
yeah,
to bring in that kind of money.
yeah,
But all these movies that we've run down, you know, just make you feel good.
yeah,
You know,
absolutely. I've got time for all these movies. I can just put them on and you just have a great time with them.
yeah. I
You know,
mean, even the bad movies, you can find one
yeah,
scene or one moment in that makes you worth watching. And it might be a very bad movie, like I didn't get on with Delirious, but there's a couple scenes in Delirious that make you laugh, you know.
exactly. Yeah,
So that was his genius, to make people laugh, and God bless him for it.
exactly. Yeah,
40, 43. I mean
it's
that.
just yeah, it's no age, and it's just such a shame that we've got all we're ever going to get
Yeah,
from John Candy, and he's been gone over 30 years, but even now his great movies are still loved.
yeah,
You know,
and we still talk about him.
still talk about him.
I mean, people dress like him and Steve Martin at Thanksgiving time. You
Yeah,
know, it's sort of like I think that movie's taking on like a Christmas Vacation kind of vibe with people.
yes, yeah, yeah,
So I mean, there's a Facebook page on there, Long Live John Candy, and you see people dressed up like Del
oh, yeah,
Griffith, and stuff like that. So it's just he'll never die because his movies are there, and you
yeah.
know my brother bought me the John Candy Hallmark from Vacation. Sorry, folks, the park's closed. The moose out. The front should have told you that.
Yeah,
Like that.
yeah, yeah,
Because you press the moose and it's like we're closed like that.
yeah.
But there's one where it's the moose and him going like this, with that face they make.
Oh yeah, with the
Where
when
he's
he
got the
pulls the gun
gun.
out.
That's not really a gun. It's a Clark. That's a BB gun. That can't even pierce the skin. You know.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's
yeah,
but just like little pieces. I mean, if you watch one of his movies, you'll go away just with a smile on your face. And I
exactly.
and I
Yeah,
think that's really a great way to the talk about him that he just like made you smile.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, yeah, that brings us to the end, Kenny.
I
We went
know.
amazing top 10.
Thank
I
you.
want
For you
thank
too.
you, Kenny, for the absolutely fabulous John Candy discussion.
Oh, thank you. I enjoy it. I can talk about the
Yeah.
man anytime,
Yeah.
any place. I just love the guy. I just
Yeah.
got so missed.
Yeah,
What could have been.
Absolutely. But yeah, I probably should have said this at the beginning, but I'll say it now. The link to Kenny's channel will be in the description below.
Oh,
So yeah, please do go over and check Kenny's channel out. And I want to thank Kenny for joining me and for picking John Candy. And I'm sure Kenny's going to be back. We'll be back at some point talking about a certain actress. And I know
yes.
Kenny we'll do it. We'll be doing another top 10.
I like her a lot.
Yeah. But yeah, just want to thank Kenny for joining and thank everyone for watching.
Thank you, Andy. I had a ball with this. This was so much fun, and it was sorry we got sidetracked on the John Hughes discussion, but I feel that it just like mixed with
it was part of it. It's part.
Yeah.
You can't talk about that era of John Candy and not talk about John Hughes. I think.
Yeah.
Just the two go hand in hand. But I think we've done John Candy justice there, and we've both picked a fun top 10 list each.
Yeah, and I think I kind of funny. It's kind of funny how we were so similar with a lot of our picks.
Yes,
too.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah.
So yeah. No, we'll just say thanks everyone for watching. Please go over and check Kenny's channel out. Link to his channel will be down below. And yeah, we just want to thank everyone for watching. Thank you, Kenny. And I'll see you all in the next one.
Take care, everyone. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.